Hello there, fifth graders. Um, this is your assignment for Thursday, the 26th. You've had some time to read chapter one in A Wrinkle in Time, and hopefully that's the only chapter that you have read. Um, so today you have kind of an overview of what you should have read and some reminders about how to use Classroom and how to make sure you're keeping up with your work. Um, so the stream, guys, this is your main page for all of your classes. Here you can see all of your work, all of the nonsense comments that your classmates make, some announcements that I have here, um, and then the real stuff is the classwork tab. The classwork tab has all of your work, and like that, that's just since last Thursday. That this is all stuff that you need to have finished by the end of this week, and that's not even including the vocabulary test that you're going to have online on Friday. So that's just for me. So if you're just starting your work, welcome. You need to dig yourself out. Um, so under classwork, still waiting for some of your outsider packet stuff that was due on Monday. The Wrinkle in Time pre-reading, um, I've graded 12 of them, so some of you still need to do that. There are 4 of you who have not turned that in yet. And again, that was due Tuesday, so get that done. I had a video on this already as far as what these things mean, so if you have questions about that, watch the video that goes with this pre-reading assignment. That is right here next to the assignment. So use your resources, look around, use your eyes, and you'll see that a lot of the things that you need are right there next to what you're working on. Vocab work, there is a test on Friday. It's going to be a Google form, and it is a digital test with multiple choice questions, so be prepared for that. Khan Academy, a lot of you are getting that done. The background information here was just to help you understand the story a little bit more, and I hope that you read that. No Red Ink is due Monday, and there will be another assignment on Monday, so please make sure that you get these done so that you don't have missing assignments. The first assignment on the actual reading is A Wrinkle in Time pre-reading. 9 of you have not done that yet. It was due yesterday. So if you are that person, please get that turned in. Simple question. What skills, strengths, ideas, and beliefs help you meet everyday challenges? And what are some challenges that people your age face? So Meg is our main character. I know a Meg, and most Megs are awesome, especially mine, my wife. You're welcome. So think about what it is that help you overcome things that are challenges. Challenges can be things that are difficult, things that are obstacles, things that get in the way of you being able to be successful. How do you overcome those things, and what skills are necessary to do that? Think about somebody who is athletic. Does that mean that they're more likely to survive in the wild, like Brian did in Hatchet? And somebody who's intelligent, are they able to survive being homeless the way that Maniac was in Maniac McGee? So what are the skills that allow you to overcome those things? Plus, so 2 parts here. What are challenges that people your age face? So, you're 10, 11, 12 years old. What are things that you face that are challenging? And some of you have a lot of things that you've been through. And so this will be easy to find challenges. And some of you have been bubble wrapped, and that's okay, because that means your parents are doing their jobs. But answer these questions. This is a prompt that is graded, and as I said before, 9 of you have not turned that in yet. You should have your quizzes done, and make sure that you hit turned in, and that's going to grade it for us. automatically, which is nice for me. But that needs to get done. So you need to read chapter 1 and then do the quizzes over chapter 1. Don't do the quizzes and think that you've read, because you're going to be very confused. The last thing that is currently due tomorrow, well, today, as you're watching this, 11 of you need to get that in today, and that is the questions over chapter 1. And these questions are simple. Describe Meg, describe Charles Wallace, go into detail. Some of the things that you can think about for Meg is that she's a young girl with 3 brothers. 2 of them are twins. She has a younger brother who is Charles Wallace, who is peculiar because of how intelligent he is as a 5-year-old, and the way that he knows her and knows what she's thinking and what she's experiencing is really unique. She is a firecracker who's quick to react, and you saw that with her frustrations with what was happening in school. In addition to that, she in chapter 1 has trouble sleeping because there's a hurricane in her area and she's sleeping in the attic. You'll need to move out of the upstairs when there's a windstorm. So, number 2, Charles Wallace, really smart. He is different in front of people, so people just think he's weird. Is he actually weird, or is it just because of how special he is that he seems odd? He didn't speak the way most babies do, where they just babble. He just started talking one day in full sentences, which is not a positive behavioral change if you ever do childhood development in college. But he is not like other 5-year-olds. So if you know any kindergartners, that is not Charles Wallace. So, number 3, why did Mrs. Whatsit come to visit them? And she had to talk about the Tesseract, right? So she came to visit to talk to Mrs. Murray. And what was important about what she told her, that's kind of like a secret, right? So that's a secret for Mrs. Murray, and she's like, what do you know? And so that's what you need to have in your response there. So look back. I think it's page 12 that you're going to find that. And as it says, reference page numbers when able. So 2 to 3 complete sentences. So if you just have one sentence and you think that you're done, you're going to lose points. So please follow the directions. Some of you learned that the hard way. Gotta look at the assignment, guys. The assignment, respond to each question or prompt with 2 to 3 complete sentences right here, and you're going to see the same thing right here. So trying to keep it foolproof for you. Please don't fool it for yourselves. So you've got work to do. If you haven't read chapter 1, please do that. I am going to kind of give a brief overview here for those of you who have read it to just build your comprehension a little bit more. So this book begins with one of the most popular lines in literature. It was a dark and stormy night. So where can that go? It can go anywhere, and this story proves that. This is a really interesting book, science fiction and just so much creativity. And I'm reading this with Elise, and I paused. As you're reading, just look at all the ways that Madeleine L'Engle chooses to bring what's happening to life. It's really, she uses her words to paint a picture. So make sure you're getting that picture, because the movie is garbage. So as you're reading, visualize. It's a huge concept. It totally builds your comprehension skills if you're creating the movie in your own mind, rather than waiting to be shown what the movie is like. So it really is not a good film. So the book will be so much better, and you can do your snobby thumb up the nose thing to it. So So we have Meg missing her father. There's a lot of reasons why she's upset. Her father being gone. She's unhappy about school. She doesn't accept that she's different, even though her differences are good and lovable, and that she needs to embrace those things. Because everybody's unique, and she feels like she doesn't really fit in with her own family because she gets into fights and she's not intelligent. Her mother and father are brilliant. Her littlest brother, 5, is brilliant. And then you have her, and she's awkward because she has braces and she's a teenager and does poorly in school. So she's got things that they're challenges, like we talked about on one of those questions. How is she going to overcome those things? In chapter 1, we get to see the relationship Meg has with Charles. She appreciates Charles Wallace. She appreciates his differences. But she wishes that she could be normal, like Sandy and Dennis, the twins. She doesn't realize what makes her unique yet. Her mom talked about her being a late bloomer, not only for beauty but academically, and being intelligent will come because of who she is and whose kid she is. And so Charles in chapter 1 is able to anticipate what Meg is thinking. It's kind of odd. Like, how can he read her mind? How did he know that she was coming downstairs? And he met her, and he met his mother because of this relationship that he has with them. And so she still has her mom, and even though her dad is gone, and that is a problem for her, her mom really loves her and is trying to overcome the absence of her husband and Meg's father as well. And so she begins to appreciate that mom is still there, and that her mother loves her the way that she is, even though she has braces, even though she's getting in fights, even though she's failing school. And so it's, what we see from a lot of parents is just love. So Fortinbras is your puppy. It's actually a character from Shakespeare's Hamlet. So we see a lot of connections to literature, and a lot of connections with philosophy in this book. When we meet Mrs. Who in chapter 2, that rhymed, you'll get to see that a little bit more. So Fortinbras' Hamlet character, Mrs. Whatsit, shows up. She looks weird, she acts weird, she's a crazy old lady, and then she's just in the house in the middle of the night while a hurricane warning is going on. Yeah, really, what is Mrs. Whatsit at this point? So she defies expectations of what she knows about the family. Charles Wallace knew her before she shows up on this dark and stormy night. But no one else knew her. And then she just barges in, gets a sandwich, and acts as if she owns the place and knows these people. She introduces a word into the lives of the Murray children that will change their lives. And that's the Tesseract. And that's at the end of the chapter. And we'll talk more about that as the book goes on. So that's all I've got. My time's about up. So do your work, please. For the love of all things holy. You've got midterms coming up in a couple of weeks. These things count. We are learning new things, and you are responsible for doing those things. And my job is to make you ready for 6th grade. Having March to August or September, whatever we actually get back, whatever it is not a good way to be a student. So don't shut down, because we're not. So watch this video, keep reading, keep doing your work. I'll be live tomorrow afternoon and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a wonderful day. Well, tomorrow afternoon is Thursday. Sorry. See you on Thursday.